Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Byron from the Byron So Cool Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and just sitting up here wanting to hear what I have to say. As you already know, the title talks about music, and is music corrupting the youth mind? Now, I know what some of y'all might be saying. Some of y'all might be saying, nah, it's not. It's not. But I don't know though. Is it? If you think about it, back in the day when I was coming up, it was a thing called hip hop. Hip hop is where people would sit up here and settle their differences on the stage. You know, who got the better lyrics? Who's the best rapper? But then it took an ugly turn. You know, it's a group named NWA. And if you don't know what NWA stands for, it means niggas with attitudes. They came into the game and the game changed from that point on. Hip hop was no longer hip hop. Rap music was no longer rap music. It was more of a documentary about the hood that they were coming from, that the rappers was coming from. NWA shined a light on the corrupt cops that was in LA. They shined a light and they basically told a story through their lens of what was happening during that time. But that is not the only thing that they showed the lens on. Because it was such a big group, it just trickled down to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation, to the point where it actually got into the hands of the two biggest rappers that we know today, which is Tupac and Biggie. Shout out to both of them. RIP to them. Tupac and Biggie elevated the rap game. They even implemented murdering and killing into their music. Now, I'm not sitting up here trying to down talk rap music, but at the end of the day, we can't sit up here and ignore the fact that Satan is using music as a tool to kill our youth. Think about this. Tupac and Biggie had such an influence in the rap game and over the youth mind and over people's mind in general that they caused a war to happen between two coasts, the East Coast versus the West Coast. And they was warring against each other. Matter of fact, the West Coast would not play none of Biggie Smalls' music. And the East Coast would not play none of Tupac's music. That's how big it was. These people were so big that people were actually shooting and killing each other simply behind their music. That's how much of an influence, that's how much power rap music have on the youth mind. Let's go ahead and keep going a little bit up to date for those who don't know who Biggie and Tupac is. Let's talk about 50 Cent. Let's talk about the feud he had with the rapper The Game. Let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Let's talk about the feud Nicki Minaj had with Cardi B. These beefs carried over into violence that took place in real life. It wasn't just on stage anymore. It just wasn't it just wasn't words anymore. It actually crossed over to shoving, to hitting, even to killing in this day and age. Whenever 50 Cent was beefing with Ja Rule and Murder Inc. crew went over to where 50 Cent was at and his crew was at, and they started punching and stabbing. Is music, rap music, having a negative influence on the youth's minds? We got to ask ourselves these questions. When the youth listens to this type of music, it marinates in their minds when they're in school, and you wonder why they are failing their grades. When they are out in the streets, they hanging out with their little thug boys, their little thug homies, with their pants sagging, with the little red and blue bandanas on, listening to rap music. They sit up here as they're trying to lay down and go to sleep. They are dreaming about all of that stuff that was pumped and implemented in their minds from this rap music. In the Bible, in Ezekiel, it talks about Satan. And for those who are not spiritual, for those who are not Christians, for those who are not believers, this may not this may not apply to you, but it definitely applies to somebody. It definitely applies to me because I am a believer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. This is not no Christian platform, but like I say, I keep it 100 on the Byron So Cool show, and that's what I'm finna do right now. In the Bible, in Ezekiel, it talks about Satan being the choir director. He led the choir. The Bible says that he had special pipes that he was created with. He is still, till this day, influencing people, pipes, to sit up here and get his message across. Remember, Satan, that was his job, that was his mission, to lead the choir, to sing. Not everybody got special pipes. It is what it is. But for those who do, you got to ask yourself, where did they get their pipes from? God is all about music. Do you think the music that we're listening to today is from God? There's a man by the name of Arby, D. Arby. He sat up here and made some songs that were hit songs that I really love even till this day. One of the name of his songs is Wishing Well, and the other name of the song is Sign Your Name.
Terrence B. Darby.
What's his name?
Terrence B. Darby.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Terrence D. Arby. He changed his name because he felt an unseen evil spirit chasing him. And it scared him to the point where he changed his name, and I believe he even moved from the state that he was in. Changed his name because people around him that was in the music industry were actually dying. A woman from TLC, Left Eye, the day before she passed away, she already was saying that she feels like a evil spirit is after her. She felt that way. And guess what ended up happening? Just the day before she died, she hit a young boy where she was in a car when a young boy got hit, and his last name was Lopez, the same last name she got. And the next day she died. How did that happen? Is music affecting the youth's minds? Listen to this one well-known rapper by the name of Jay-Z. He called himself Jehovah. Anyone who knows the Bible knows that God's name is Jehovah. Let me go a little bit deeper than that. Now that I got y'all attention. DMX, on the front cover of his album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, his head is in the middle of the M. His body is drenched in blood. I can show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Look at this. What do that look like to you guys? That looks like the devil. You see the horns right there? You see his red body? I'm telling you guys, a lot of these rappers have made blood sacrifices to get to where they at. A lot of these rappers, a lot of these musicians have made blood sacrifices to get to where they at. Even Satan tempted Jesus when Jesus was on his 40-day fast. Satan said, I will give you everything you can see, if you just simply bow down and worship me. That's all Satan wanted Jesus to do, was bow down and worship him, and Jesus can have everything. Guess what? Jesus refused. But how many of you rappers and singers refuse that sacrifice that Satan made to you? You had Katy Perry get on national TV and admit that she sold her soul to the devil. Katy Perry. Is music, does music have an effect on the youth's minds? Whenever Nicki Minaj came out and started putting all these different colors in her hair, guess what I started seeing all over the place? Different kids with different rainbow colors in their hair. If you don't believe me, ask Takashi 69. People, I just hope that we all just get it together at the end of the day. I hope we all sit up here and get a better understanding on life and how it operates. And you guys, I hope that we can sit up here and get away from this toxic music that is playing on our youth's minds. I mean, it's to the point now where young African American males and females are sitting up here shooting each other on a regular basis. And I'm pretty sure they just got through listening to this toxic music before they went out there and started doing the killing and shooting. And they think that this junk is cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. What's so cool about going out here shooting somebody? You know what I'm saying? Because the only one or two things going to end up happening. Somebody either going to come back and shoot you, or the cops going to get you and take you to jail. And guess what? Everybody's going to be screaming, Black Lives Matter. Why don't you think about that before you go out there and make that hit on that young person? Does music play a role on the youth's minds? Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow this little channel. Um, push the like button, push the share button, and I'm definitely going to definitely try to bring y'all a lot more content. So again, you guys, thank you so much, and everybody, be blessed.